Now we turn to Hungary, where anti-government protests brought thousands of people onto the streets last weekend. The protesters were clamouring to have their voices heard in a regime said to have cracked down on press freedom. The anger this time is about the government's labour laws, dubbed slave labour laws by the opposition. Government plans to make up for the shortfall in manpower by asking workers to do longer hours will, they say, undermine their rights. But the wider context of the gathered crowds is a total mistrust in an increasingly illiberal Viktor Orban government. Mark Urban reports.
In Budapest last night, they were on the march. Pictures shared by social media as national TV won't cover the protests. It's a movement that unites opponents to Viktor Orban, who are now threatening a general strike.
The unions have also joined, as well as a number of civil society actors, and it seems like there is quite a bit of will to continue. What's different about these protests, as opposed to previous protests, is that they've been quite, I wouldn't say they're not violent, but they've been quite sustained, going on for almost a week. And also people are very angry. So they are spending 8, 12 hours on the street without break.
Things started in earnest on Sunday evening when people took to the streets. Their main grievance is changes to the labour code that allow companies to ask workers to do hundreds of hours of overtime, but to hold back payment for it for up to 3 years. That change, denounced as the slave law by these people, has brought opponents onto the streets, from the Greens to the far-right Jobbik party. On Sunday evening, tear gas was used against them.
Police has been responding to violent attacks coming from political activists and political party members in front of the parliament or in front of the public TV station. Again, everything is a response. It's not an initiative or initiated by the state or by law enforcing agencies. It is defending democracy and defending the institutions in this country in face of violent, at sometimes violent attacks on behalf of the political opposition.
The studios of the national TV network have become one key focus for protests. Yesterday, some opposition MPs, using their right to enter government buildings, went in, trying to demand airtime to broadcast their grievances to the public. This struggle's not just about the slave law, but changes to the judiciary and indeed the ruling party's grip over state TV. But the MPs were forcibly ejected, among them Bernadette Schell.
They wanted to give in to the television and to the radio the 5 points, the 5 demands of the Hungarian protesters and the Hungarian nation.